Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining today. Can you hear me? Is it all right?
Perfect.
Yes. As Dr. Hong introduced me, my name is Jung Hyun Han, and I'm working for Asian Development Bank as a public policy specialist. In my work, I'm mainly doing uh, policy analysis and publish policy recommendations to facilitate climate technology in developing Asia. Today, I will talk about how geospatial data can contribute to more equitable climate change response with some practical examples of multilateral development bank and governments. I believe Dr. Hong has already covered sophisticated GIS techniques in detail, so my lecture should be seen as a just lighter segment, a brief introduction to how GIS is actually being applied in practice. Please think of it as an accessible, just breathing space session. Okay. Okay, let's start. Climate justice is more than a slogan. The picture shows how global temperature increase unequally affect annual GDP per capita growth by region. As shown in this picture, poor and marginalized countries tend to suffer the most severe consequences. Addressing this injustice requires data that can pinpoint who is most vulnerable, where risks are highest, and how resources can be directed fairly. This is where geospatial data comes in. With advancing geographical data, we now have tools that translate the idea of equity into evidence-based interventions. Uh, the climate justice, the climate justice consists of usually three pillars. The first one is distributed justice. So that is regarding equitable allocation of adaptation funding and protective measures. And the second one is procedural justice. So it is regarding giving vulnerable communities a voice and in shaping decisions that affects them, and ensuring transparent decision making and information access. The third one is corrective justice. It is regarding establishing historical emission accountability and cleanup investment goals. So to achieve these pillars of climate justice, the special focus on the most affected people and areas are needed. So um, geospatial information offers value beyond mere geographical data. Location-based data maximizes potential value by providing context to various data types, visualizing ground data, simulating and modeling process, and monitoring changes. So the United Nations Global Geospatial Information Management Committee emphasized that this geospatial information should be recognized as a foundational public good, essential for ethical use and promoting broad societal benefits. Geospatial analysis provides a concrete methodology for achieving climate justice goals. Its core is the integrated index approach, which combines physical data such as heat and flood exposure with socioeconomic data to create a spatial vulnerability index. This index measures the three components of environmental exposure: sensitivity and adaptability capacity, providing crucial information for fairly prioritizing resource allocation. In practice, many multilateral development banks and governments utilize geospatial data in their decision-making and policy implementation. Let's take a look at an example where geospatial and environmental justice data have been applied. The first case is World Bank sensitivity mapping. The bank has combined the environmental sensitivity layers with social vulnerability indices to guide project siting and reduce risks to marginalized groups. These interactive web-based reports include detailed baseline information on projects, project sites, and ESS-specific summaries and relevant past projects and relevant issues, including previous specialist comments and cited data sources. This map was successfully piloted by 25 World Bank project team in last 2 years and enhances ENS framework and financial allocation efficiency. The second case is ADB's Energy for All initiatives. This project is basically aims to maximize the energy for all, especially rural and poor area, and founded the Energy for initiative to strengthen its investment and increase its project portfolio in energy access. The ADB utilized the United States satellite program to detect low levels of visible and near-infrared radiance at night and remove clouds with thermal infrared band data. The figure shows the night view images. These images were overlaid with freely available population density grid using GIS. This figure illustrates the global energy access situation in Asia and the Pacific by comparing population to brightness. This large pink area shows that much of the region is still dark at night despite its high population. The third case is the United Government's case. The US government is one of the governments that actively use geospatial data in policy decision-making. The US Environmental Protection Agency has developed EJ Screen since 2015. The tool is a national mapping tool that combines environmental indicators such as air pollution, proximity to hazardous facility, traffic exposure, with socio-demographic data such as income, minority status, and linguistic isolation at the census block group level. So its usage is primarily pinpointing areas where environmental burdens or social vulnerability overlap. It also guides EPAs and state agencies in targeting inspections, permitting, and compliance monitoring. It also helps direct grants, climate funds, and technical assistance to disadvantaged areas. This platform was primarily aimed to provide an open platform for citizens, researchers, and advocates to visualize cumulative impacts. However, it is not accessible anymore after the new US administration coming into office. But if you can log in, if you can access to the website, the data is backed up in this website, so you can see the how the EJ screen works actually. So there are a lot of environmental burden indicators, socio-economic indicators, and environmental justice indices such as lead paint and hazardous waste proximity, and other supplementary indices. Mm. And the fourth case is in Michigan case. In Michigan, collaboration between the EPA and state health agencies applied EJ screen data to address the long-standing problem of childhood lead exposure. Researchers used the spatial clustering techniques to identify neighborhoods with usually high blood lead levels. So these health outcomes were then overlaid with EJ screen socioeconomic and environmental indicators. As a result, the hotspots were concentrated. As a result of research, researchers found out that the hotspots were concentrated in low-income, predominantly minority communities living in older housestock. After this research, the state's agencies targeted abatements program, outreach, and remediation funding to the most affected neighborhoods. And EPA has expanded this program to other states to reduce lead exposure among childhoods. So as shown in the figure, this project was founded pretty successful. The ratio of highly lead exposure rate was has been reduced over years. So from these cases, we can draw some lessons. The first is integration matters. During projects using GIS data, many critical data sets are fragmented and proprietary or held behind restrictive access barriers. This hinders their use by communities and researchers for climate justice initiatives. So environmental justice emerges when exposure data, socioeconomic data, and health outcomes are systematically layered together. So integrating all the relevant data relevant data is important. The second one is data gap. Unequal access to reliable internet technology and digital literacy in marginalized communities creates significant barriers to participating data-driven solutions. So the ADB also try to facilitate the capacity building program in many developing countries alongside with loan projects. So international cooperation and capacity building are essential for better use of GIS. And community participation is important. As shown in the previous slide, one of the key pillar of climate justice is procedure justice. So when establishing GIS data and enforce policy implementation based in GIS data, the community participation is essential. So data legitimacy, this community participation will enhance data legitimacy, and this grows when communities contribute to mapping and validation. And finally, the governance and sustainability is important. As we can see, the tools like EJ screen, these screens are only effective if regulatory updated and protected from the political shift. So, the governance and sustainability have to be established to sustain use of GIS toolkit.